Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats, and today I wanted to show you my recipe for a perfect weekday supper or a date night. This is mozzarella and chorizo pasta penne. I guarantee you this will be a hit with the family. So onto the ingredients. First of all, about 300 grams of any tubular shaped pasta. I'm using spirali here, 2 tins of chopped tomatoes, a block of parmesan, 3 balls of mozzarella, has to be fresh, chorizo, about a tablespoon of oregano, some pepper and some chili flakes. First of all, we're going to start off by cutting up the cheese. So just cut up the mozzarella into small blocks. It can be rough, it's all going to melt anyway. So this recipe is something from my childhood. My mother used to make this probably once a month or so, and I've added my own tweaks into it. It's actually something my mother picked up on one of those recipe cards in the supermarket, I think in the early 90s, and it just proved such a hit with the family that we just kept eating it. So grating the parmesan. Now hopefully you're already a subscriber to the channel, but if you're not, why not click the subscribe button now? I've got a whole ton of videos that I want to start sharing with you, lots of tips and tricks, and it would really help me out if you were to like this video. If you want to leave a comment, I'll absolutely get back to you. I'd love to get your feedback on some of these recipes. So that's the cheese pretty much done now. And we're going to start cutting up our chorizo. So this is something that I tweaked from the original recipe. This wasn't in there originally, but I feel like it adds a great depth of flavour to the recipe. So we can just cut this up fairly roughly. It doesn't have to be particularly neat. Sometimes I actually probably cut it up a little bit smaller, that way you get more bites with the chorizo, but it's up to you really. You don't necessarily have to use chorizo, you could probably use any sausage if you want. Just make sure you fry that off before you start with the rest of the sauce. So let's pop the pasta in the pan, and we're going to cook that off for about 10 minutes until it's al dente, or essentially it's firm to chew but without any hardness or chalkiness. For the sauce, a drizzle of oil in the pan, heat it up, pop the chorizo in, and we're going to cook that off for a couple of minutes. And what you'll start to see is the chorizo goes nice and dark and golden. The oil turns a nice colour as well. We're then going to pop in some garlic, so a couple of cloves of garlic, which I actually missed out of the ingredients at the first step. And we'll cook that off until the garlic's fragrant, probably no more than about a minute. That's looking absolutely delicious. So that's perfect, and we're going to pop in our chopped tomatoes. Give that a stir around. And then we'll pop in our cheese. So we're going to put in all of the mozzarella. Now I probably should have used a slightly bigger saucepan than this, and probably about 2/3 of our parmesan. So we want to keep a little bit back to spread on the top. So this will take 3 or 4 minutes just to melt down and turn into a nice cheesy tomatoey sauce. We're then going to pop in our herbs, so we've put our oregano in, our chili flakes and our pepper. You don't really need to put any salt in here because both the chorizo and the parmesan are fairly salty, but if you're someone that likes a bit more salt with your pasta, then go for it. Once the pasta's done, we're going to go ahead and drain that and then pop it into a dish. And all we're going to do then is pour over the sauce, and then we'll give it a good mix around. And it is something you could probably just go ahead and eat right now, but we do like to pop it in the oven for a little while to give it a little bit of a crust on top. So that's looking good. And then we're going to pour the remaining parmesan on top. This is such a Moorish dish that I guarantee you this is going to disappear in no time at all. Excellent, that's ready to go into the oven. So I'd pop that in the oven on about 180 degrees centigrade, probably for about 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll know when it's ready because you'll see the cheese is going golden brown, the chorizo is starting to go dark on top, and that's ready to go. Now, you've seen how simple this dish is. I think there's absolutely no excuse to not be able to make this. It probably takes about 30 minutes. It's perfect for a weeknight, it's perfect for the family, but I think actually you could serve this up with some nice salad, some nice garlic bread, and it would be the perfect date night dish as well, because it's guaranteed to go down really well with anyone. So I just wanted to say thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate everyone who does watch the whole of the video, everyone who leaves a like, everyone who subscribes, everyone who leaves a comment. I love getting your comments through and responding back to you and getting your feedback, so thank you very much. I'll be back soon with another great recipe, so until then, take care.